Hello there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Faith Dodger. Today, I'm taking you down to Watford, London for the Warner Brothers Studio Tour, the making of Harry Potter. I am a Harry Potter fanatic, and this has been a much anticipated trip. It hasn't been easy in the past because tickets would get sold out, but lately it's been easy. If you're a Harry Potter fanatic like I am, by all means, come along. So at the lobby, we're greeted by a dragon. This is the dragon that we meet in Deathly Hallows Part 2. It's the dragon that guards the Horcrux in Gringotts Bank. We'll see it later on in the tour. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Dursleys, Harry Potter's legal guardians. We get introduced to this family in the Philosopher's Stone. They're not very nice people, but they're the closest family that Harry had. So right now we're walking into part of the set of Harry's early days in Harry Potter. That's the cupboard under the stairs. At the beginning of the tour, we had a lovely reception from the Warner Brothers team. Unfortunately, filming isn't allowed in the first two sections of the tour. You'd have to make it down to Watford yourselves to see what I'm talking about. Right now we're looking at the set of the Great Hall. They used props for most of the food that we saw in the movie. That is why a lot of the food looked too good to be true. Just look at it all. Doesn't it look scrumptious? But it's not real. Look at that chicken. Those drumsticks. It almost looks real. This year, Warner Brothers is celebrating the House of Slytherin. That is why we're seeing green flags, an array of green flags in the ceiling. That's Hogwarts uniform and robes. As we walk down to the far end of the hall, we see our lecturers. I'll name them when we get closer. We have Hagrid, the half-giant at the far end, Professor Severus Snape in the black robe, Albus Dumbledore in the center, and Professor McGonagall in green. Oh, and there's Professor Flitwick. Now that's the set on Goblet of Fire, the Yule Ball, Cho Chang, Hermione Granger, Harry Potter, and Victor Crumb's dress robes. That's Madame Maxime's dress robes. Now we walk into the main arena. There are quite a lot of props on different sets and different aspects of Harry Potter. The talking picture frames, and right at the far end we see Professor Dolores Umbridge's proclamations and new school rules. She was quite the tough headmistress. And those taps are from the Goblet of Fire in the prefect's bathroom when Harry was trying to figure out his egg. Some of the picture frames. This is Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Seamus Finnegan's dorm. So we're walking through the Slytherin common room with Crabbe and Goyle and Draco Malfoy at the far end. And this is the Phoenix stairwell leading to Professor Albus Dumbledore's office. Just look at how amazing Dumbledore's office is. There is so much going on in here, and quite a lot of scenes were filmed on this set. We're walking into Professor Severus Snape's potions classroom. He started off as a potions teacher, but then ended up as the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. That was towards the end of his tenure in Harry Potter. Severus Snape, in the real world known as Alan Rickman, born in 1946 and unfortunately died in 2016 of pancreatic cancer. May his soul rest in eternal peace. This is the Triwizard Cup, the prize for the controversial Triwizard tournament. It later turned out to be a portkey which led Harry Potter and Cedric Diggory into the clutches of the evil Lord Voldemort. props for the popular Quidditch game. Now everyone who's watched Harry Potter knows what Quidditch is. And here's our lovely chest with the quaffle, 2 bludgers, and beating bats. Here's our broomsticks with the firebolt, the Nimbus 2000, and the Nimbus 2001. Hagrid's hut, Hogwarts gamekeeper. Now that's me right there in my Hogwarts uniform attending Madam Hooch's flying lesson. The special effects department created broomstick rigs for the actors to physically ride. Camera movements were pre-programmed to film the actors on these rigs in a natural-looking flying motion. These could then be combined with environmental backgrounds to add atmosphere and create flying scenes. And this is exactly what's happening here on my broom. That's the vault cart in Gringotts Bank. Hagrid's bike. Mad-Eye Moody's bike. And the broomstick rig on the far end. They use these rigs for Quidditch scenes. This is the Whomping Willow and the Ford Anglia in the Chamber of Secrets. Ron and Harry had quite an unfortunate incident with the Whomping Willow. Welcome to Mrs. Weasley's kitchen. This is the door to the Chamber of Secrets. Now this has to be one of the scariest scenes on Harry Potter. This is Voldemort seated at a table with the Death Eaters, and that large snake is Nagini. On this scene, Voldemort commands Nagini to finish off a muggle he had killed in the presence of the Death Eaters. This was just to test their loyalty. We've seen people like Bellatrix Lestrange, Voldemort himself, Lucius Malfoy, Narcissa Malfoy, quite a few of the Death Eaters. The Ministry of Magic. Now this was the Flu network that Ministry of Magic employees used to transport themselves into the building. They would come in through those chimneys or fireplaces that you can see. We are walking into Dolores Umbridge's office at the Ministry of Magic. She loved pink tweed outfits. She loved her tea and cats as well. Tom Riddle's grave. This is the site where Voldemort killed Cedric Diggory in Goblet of Fire. Welcome to the Forbidden Forest. There's Hagrid on the left. Can you see Buckbeak on the far right? That's a centaur. Half human, half horse. And that's Buckbeak, the hippogriff on Prisoner of Azkaban. Here I was playing around with wind and thunder effects. You won't really appreciate the wind effects, but trust me, when I played around with the wind button, I felt a gust of strong wind.
I know, okay.
Meet Aragog, Hagrid's friend. Expecto Patronum! Behold, the Hogwarts Express.
Okay. Hello, this is the interactive bit of my Hogwarts tour, and we've got Lee here, one of the tour guides. Lee, thank you very much for accepting for me to film you. I just want to know a few facts about the Hogwarts Express. What secrets can you tell me about it?
Okay, so this was originally a train that was built in 1937.
Wow.
It was actually running for real on tracks in Wales until about 1962.
Okay.
It was about to be scrapped, and a gentleman saved it, restored it. It was originally painted green, and then when we came to use it for the films, we turned it red to match the Hogwarts Express. And this is all an original steam train, original carriages that you would have found back then in and around London. So the doors themselves actually open from the inside. You have to push the window down, reach out and open it from the outside to get
Wow.
out like it used to be back in those days.
Okay, and did the train actually move on set, or it was just a prop where they would just go in and act out scenes?
So on set, we use this for the exterior shots, and then just over on the right hand side is a photo opportunity which shows you how we actually filmed inside the carriages.
Okay.
This is actually a working train. It was
Okay.
actually brought in, actually driven in. It was a real working train. Yeah.
Okay, so when was the last time it took a trip out on the rail?
1962. It's never left here since it was put here about 4 years ago.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you so much, Lee. That was very informative.
Lovely to meet you.
And thank you. cannot say you've done the Harry Potter Warner Brothers studio tour without trying out the famous Honeydukes Butterbeer. Bottoms up.
Behold the night bus. My favorite part on this scene was when the shrunken heads alerted the bus driver about the little old lady. It went like this. Little old lady at 12 o'clock. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 3.5, 2, 1 3/4. Yeah! Welcome to Privet Drive, the Dursleys' house in Surrey. The dozens of letters Harry Potter received from Hogwarts informing him of his acceptance at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The Potter's Cottage in Godric's Hollow. This was where Harry Potter's parents were killed by Voldemort, James and Lily Potter. Later on, Harry and Hermione visit this cottage in the Deathly Hallows. Hogwarts Footbridge. CG made this bridge look longer than it actually is. Behold, Gringotts Bank.
I would like 1,000 galleons, please.
Remember the dragon from the entrance? It took me a while to realize that the dragon is actually on a screen. There was so much going on with the fallen pillars, the smoke. It all distracts you from realizing it's on screen. That's the vault cart on the left and vault 713 right there. Now we walk into Bellatrix Lestrange's vault in Gringotts, where she hid the Helga Hufflepuff Horcrux. Here, Ron, Hermione, and Harry are trying to destroy it, but the unfortunate thing is that any golden thing that they touch, it multiplies. Welcome to Diagon Alley, not Diagon Alley. On all these wand boxes are the names of all the cast and crew members that worked on all the sets of Harry Potter. What a lovely dedication.
I hope you've enjoyed the snippets of my tour. The tour took approximately 3.5 hours. Of course, I couldn't show you everything because it would go on and on, but I hope you've been able to see what it is generally about, and I hope it's going to help you decide whether it's worth it taking a trip down there to Watford. I think it's worth it. It was a fascinating day, one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had, and me being a Harry Potter fanatic, it was well worth the time and the travel down to Watford. If you're worried about the place being COVID secure, they're totally on top of things, and I would say so far they're the best service providers when it comes to being COVID secure. Every station or area had a hand sanitizing automatic dispenser and reminders everywhere reminding visitors to sanitize their hands. There's also been implementation of track and trace, adequate spacing. They have been limiting numbers of visitors, hence it's been possible to maintain social distancing. I would advise you to go to visit right now because it's normally crowded. But when I went in May 2021, there was adequate spacing. It made my filming easier and I got to the front of everything. So grab that opportunity whilst you still can. There are quite a lot of additions from what I understand from when the studio opened. They've added various things. For example, Gringotts Bank wasn't there before when the studio opened. They've added the Hogwarts Express and the Forbidden Forest. Those have been amazing experiences. So you have nothing to worry about when it comes to COVID, and they have a strict mask policy. I hope you've enjoyed watching my content. If you have, please don't hesitate to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, signing out.
Frenemy, enemy. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me.